Day 52 from Luke 23 verse 28 to 31. As Jesus walked towards his crucifixion, he turned to the women who were mourning for him and said, "Don't weep for me, weep for yourselves and for your children." At first glance, this might seem like a strange response from a man who's about to endure the brutal pain of the cross. Yet in these words, Jesus is showing us a glimpse of his incredible heart for others, even in his darkest moment. In that moment, Jesus was prophesying the destruction of Jerusalem. In 70 AD, just a few decades later, the Romans would invade and completely destroy the city. The siege was one of the most horrific events in ancient history. The Romans surrounded the city, cutting off food and supplies. People starved, with some even resorting to cannibalism. The destruction was so severe that even the temple was burnt to the ground, a sacred place where God's presence once dwelled. Thousands were slaughtered and countless families were torn apart. The suffering was unimaginable, and the people, in their desperation, would have been crying out for mercy, wanting the mountains to fall on them rather than face such an awful fate. But here's the power of this moment. Jesus, in his darkest hour, was not thinking of his own pain, but of theirs. He saw the coming devastation, and rather than focus on the agony of his impending crucifixion, he mourned for the fate of the people who would endure unimaginable suffering. In the face of his own suffering, he showed extraordinary selflessness, caring more about their future than his own pain. This is the heart of Christ, love that goes beyond personal suffering, a love that sees the future pain of others and chooses to intervene even at great cost. So, 3 practical applications. Number 1, love in the darkest moments. Jesus' response teaches us to look beyond our own struggles and pain. When we face trials, it's easy to become self-focused, but we are called to love others even in our darkest moments. Are we willing to show compassion to others even when we are hurting ourselves? Number 2, eternal perspective. Jesus wept for the suffering to come because he had an eternal perspective. He saw beyond the moment to the ultimate reality of salvation. We are called to see life through an eternal lens, understanding that this world's suffering is temporary. Are we living with eternity in mind, seeking to bring hope to a broken world? And lastly, number 3, sacrificial love. Jesus laid down his life for others, not just in his death, but in his care and compassion on the way to the cross. How can we embody that sacrificial love in our own lives? Whether it's giving of our time, our resources, or simply our presence, love often requires sacrifice.